Good evening and thank you for joining us. CTV News has declared the Liberals now have a majority. This is the first time Canada has had a majority government since 2015. Physician and academic Danielle Martin successfully held the seat for the Liberals in University Rosedale. This is a riding the Liberals have held for more than a decade, most recently under Chrystia Freeland, who resigned to take up an advisory position with the government of Ukraine. Voters in Scarborough Southwest elected Liberal Dolly Begum, who has previously served the riding provincially as the deputy leader of the Ontario NDP. Begum succeeds high-profile Liberal cabinet minister Bill Blair, who represented the riding since 2015 and is now serving as Canada's High Commissioner to the UK. And in the riding of Terrebonne, another close vote, one which is still too close to call at this hour. The last time voters in the riding cast their ballot, it was the closest race in the country, with the Liberal candidate Tatiana Auguste winning by just a single vote over Nathalie Sinclair Desgagne of the Bloc Québécois. Well, turning now to details on the Ford government's plan to change the way school boards are operated across the province. Trustees will remain. They'll come back to the Ottawa Carleton District School Board, but their powers will be diminished. Instead of a director of education, boards will now have a CEO and a chief education officer. Trustees' honorarium will also be capped at a maximum of $10,000. The OCDSB's honorarium was $16,000 last year. None of the changes will apply to French language school boards. CTV's Josh Morano has more.
From who controls the budget to how decisions get made, new proposed legislation from the province would reshape how school boards operate.
I can't see this announcement today making anybody feel any better about any of it.
It means school board trustees will be coming back to the Ottawa Carleton District School Board, but with limited decision-making powers, something parents like Kate Dudley-Logue are concerned about.
If they're basically going to just be figureheads that sit at a table and listen and maybe offer advice that is not listened to by the school board, that's not helpful.
The legislation introduced at Queen's Park on Monday significantly changed the role trustees play.
We will introduce a salary cap, reduce the number of elected trustees to no more than 12 per board, and eliminate most expense accounts except for modest, clearly defined budgets in rural and remote boards.
The plan is to also bring in a new structure to school boards, replacing the Director of Education with a CEO-style role to oversee finances and develop the budget.
Trustees will have the ability to weigh in on the CEO's proposed budget. They will have the ability to make suggestions. And they will have the ability to say yes or no, but not make changes to that budget.
There will also be a separate position, a chief education officer focused on student achievement. The province says the changes are about preventing the kind of financial issues that led to the takeover of boards like Ottawa's last year, but critics say it doesn't target what they're seeing on the ground.
Trustees are the ones bringing to the public light that public education is woefully underfunded, particularly in special education. So obviously, no government wants people criticizing them.
For Dudley-Logue, she says it's a step, but not one in the right direction.
If they can't actually represent the families that require advocacy to help their kids get the supports they need, that's not really helpful.
Josh Morano, CTV News.
A driver is facing charges after a crash outside a school earlier today. This happened just after noon in front of Mary Curry Elementary School. The collision involved two vehicles. One flipped onto its roof. One person was brought to hospital with minor injuries. Another was assessed at the scene. The school is located on Heron Road near Baycrest Drive, and the area councillor notes there used to be a photo radar camera nearby on Heron between Alta Vista and Baycrest Drive.
I would like to see the speed cameras back, to be honest. I know not everybody was a fan, but this is an example of where you have a school zone, where it's a place where you can't put the speed humps, it doesn't meet the criteria, and there needs to be measures in front of the school where you have a lot of primary students.
Photo radar cameras went dark last year after the Ford government banned them. The driver in today's crash was charged with dangerous operation. Time now for our first check on the weather forecast. Jackie.
Well, we have a little bit of a break from the heavy rain that we have seen Sunday into Monday. Cloudy skies, but it's not going to last very long. By the time 7 a.m. rolls around, your morning commute is going to be a wet one. Pembroke as well could see a risk of thunderstorm moving through. That will also hit parts of Ottawa, even parts of Smiths Falls and Cornwall. That's what that yellow and the orange is indicating, that we could see a risk of some thunderstorms moving through. It will clear, though, by Tuesday afternoon, but it, again, will be short-lived. Most of this week, we are anticipating rain at least every day up until Friday. But let's take a close look at these temperatures. It is getting much warmer. We're getting to a daytime high about 10. Perhaps some areas could see 12, 13 degrees. But again, the risk of thunderstorm is going to be between noon and 4. Chance of showers into the evening, but for the most part, anticipating some cloudy skies. We'll get a closer look at your long-term forecast in just a bit.
Well, it was another violent weekend in the ByWard Market, a stabbing Saturday night in the same area where a woman was attacked just days earlier. It comes as police are set to roll out a downtown safety plan that would see more boots on the ground. Here's CTV's Katie Griffin.
A violent Saturday night in the ByWard Market. A man stabbed in the chest in the area of George and William Streets.
Shocked and disappointed when we see acts of violence or, disruptive behavior in the William Street corridor.
David Mangano is the co-owner of the Grand Pizzeria. Days earlier, their security cameras capturing a violent attack on a woman Thursday night in the same area. Police say it remains under investigation.
We have noticed an increase in police presence over the last couple of weeks. Some of the trouble does happen due to the large numbers of people congregating, especially at the Rideau William Street area near the LRT terminal. And that's where bylaw, loitering, noise control, disruptive behavior all should be sort of controlled there.
In March, Police Chief Eric Stubbs outlined a new downtown safety plan, promising more officers in areas like the Market, Chinatown, and Centertown, set to be rolled out May 1st.
Very visible, and they'll be focused, and they'll know exactly where to go in terms of those hotspot areas, as well as targeting those people that are causing the community the most harm.
The area councillor says increased police presence is one piece of the puzzle.
Whether that be more mental health supports, more housing supports, more investment into the ByWard Market itself, into better lighting, into, more solutions for that underground parking spot. So, yeah, I always say as long as we think more long term, because the health and the vitality of the ByWard Market reflects the health and the vitality of our city.
Mangano says most of the violent incidents are targeted and people shouldn't be afraid to visit.
The market is safe. It's a great place to visit.
Katie Griffin, CTV News.
Well, residents in Perth are on edge as Ontario Provincial Police investigate what they call a suspicious death. A man was found in Last Duel Park yesterday afternoon with life-threatening injuries. He died later in hospital. CTV's Dylan Dyson has the details.
It's a little unsettling being this close to the park.
Perth resident Nick Cato says he's worried for his family as police investigate a suspicious death near his home.
It's the type of scenario that's going to be scary for everyone, and I got the 2 kids. I guess that's what makes me the most nervous and uncomfortable.
Lanark County OPP say on Sunday, just after 3 p.m., a person was found in Last Duel Park with life-threatening injuries.
A citizen was walking through Last Duel Park in Perth and came across a male party who had visible signs of injury.
The man, who police say was in his 30s, was taken to hospital where he later died.
The investigation's ongoing, so there's a post-mortem being conducted today, and we'll have a better determination of cause of death at that time.
There's been only 2 murders in Perth in the last 10 years, one in 2024 and another in 2016, which also happened at Last Duel Park. Police say they are looking for suspects after Sunday's incident.
It's shocking, right? It's I lived in Perth my whole life, and living here in the last 14 years, this is something that's happened twice now in this specific park.
It's definitely unsettling, and it's not like the town, right? It's a heritage town. You come here to retire or to start a family.
Police say at this time they believe there is no risk to public safety, but that isn't easing the tension for residents.
Pretty much in my backyard. It's not knowing the circumstances or whether or not it's, an attack. Is it random? That's what's worrisome too.
Dylan Dyson, CTV News, Perth.
The federal government unveiling new measures today to help students find summer jobs. It's a plan being welcomed by both local businesses and young people who are struggling to get their foot in the door. CTV's Kimberly Johnson reports.
This is where farm camp will be.
Saunders Farm is getting ready to host kids at their summer day camp in the coming months. And as they look for camp counselors, the boost to the Canada Summer Jobs program is welcome news.
Excited that the program I feel like it's back on track.
The federal government is looking to get more young Canadians into the job market by helping businesses like Saunders hire more students.
It does help us hire more students than we normally would in the summertime.
The Canada Summer Jobs program helps subsidize the wages of students. Last year, Saunders Farm was turned down, but this year, owner Mark Saunders says he'll be able to hire 17 students under the program.
So it really is a really great way to boost the economy, especially the rural economies that sometimes struggle in these days. But even all small businesses need a little bit of a leg up.
The jobs minister announcing the federal government is working to create 175,000 jobs and training opportunities for young Canadians, as youth unemployment numbers remain high at 13.8% in March.
That is deeply concerning, in fact, because prolonged unemployment as a young person can really inhibit their career trajectory, but also their earning potential.
That includes creating 100,000 Canada Summer Job postings, an increase of 25,000 over last year, as well as increasing the student work placement program, which helps businesses hire post-secondary students in paid internships.
I think it's really important. A lot of us, we have to pay rent, we have to pay for our education, we need to pay for groceries, and you can't really do that if you're doing unpaid work.
Kimberly Johnson, CTV News.
An Ottawa man is charged with several sexual offenses, and police believe there could be other victims. The Ottawa police began investigating in 2024. Now, 39-year-old James Edmund Larrabee is facing 10 charges, including sexual assault, abducting a person under 16, sexual interference with a person under 16, and unlawful possession of child sexual abuse and exploitation materials. Well, with the Ottawa Senators preparing to head back to the postseason, we're learning more tonight about when fans will be able to get their hands on some playoff tickets.
It'll be Thursday to season seat members, again at individual games, and then on Friday, Sens insiders and the general public will have a chance to buy playoff tickets. The Sens Mile will get that open this week with the city. We'll be raising a flag, and we will be doing watch parties here at the building, outdoors with a big screen for the away games. And of course, we'll have our CIBC Plaza will be open for the away games and for the home games here at the CTC.
The Sens close out their regular season on Wednesday against the Toronto Maple Leafs. The playoffs start on Saturday. It is still unclear who the Sens will face in round one, likely either Carolina or potentially the Buffalo Sabres.
I don't believe that number's me. I just can't believe it. I don't feel 90. I'm just going to continue coming to CrossFit till I'm 100.
Just ahead, we'll introduce you to this inspiring CrossFit athlete. Here's a live look through our Centennial Glass Skycam. It is 12 degrees out there right now. Well, we all know those fitness buffs who get a lot of attention at the gym, rock hard muscles lifting heavy weights. But tonight, we meet one CrossFit expert that's envied by colleagues who want to be just like her when they grow up. CTV's Camille Wilson has that story.
In a CrossFit center full of super fit people, it's not the strongest or fastest, even the youngest who stands out.
Avril's an inspiration to every single person that walks into the gym, myself included.
All the buzz at this place is about Avril Legault, 90 years old and working out with the best of them.
I don't believe that number's me. I just can't believe it. I don't feel 90. But that's because of CrossFit.
Legault's husband passed away 9 years ago.
After being married for 60 years, I didn't know what to do with myself. So this is a friend of my daughter's. She got me into CrossFit, and that was the beginning. It's too wimpy.
Her goals were modest: how to get up if she falls down.
I remember when she first joined the gym, she walked up those stairs with a walker. And after coming to the gym for about 3 weeks, she sold her walker because she didn't need it anymore. It's a reminder that we can all move our bodies at any age.
Legault's daughter says CrossFit is her mom's lifeline.
I'm super proud of her. I have so much respect. Like, so many people just can't get out the door. She's really proud of herself, and we're happy for her. She's still living on her own, and she is stubborn. She's going to make it to 100 for sure.
Class members say it's about always thinking, what would Avril do?
She's not afraid of anything, and it's such an inspiration. I hope that I can be even like half of her when I'm her age.
Proud to be the oldest in her class, her favorite song, fittingly, is Staying Alive.
All you have to do is get off the couch and join CrossFit, and you'll feel a lot better.
Oh, and this is her birthday, and this is how she is celebrating age 90. And she has no intention of stopping anytime soon.
I'm just going to continue coming to CrossFit till I'm 100.
For her 90th birthday, the gym owner is giving her a free membership for life. Camille Wilson, CTV News.
We better have some beautiful flowers in store for May because we're sure getting those April showers. Another look at the weather forecast. Jackie.
Well, spring has arrived, not just including the showers, but also the temperatures. These overnight conditions, 6 degrees for your overnight low. The cloudy skies will take us into the early morning, but bring your rain boots, your rain gear, including the umbrella, because it will be a wet one, especially in the morning. Showers throughout the day. Thunderstorm risk in the early morning. Daytime high, though, is anticipated between 13 and 14 degrees. Now, tonight's lows across eastern Ontario, pretty warm in Brockville. 9 degrees, Cornwall 7, 4 degrees for really most of eastern Ontario, but here in Gatineau and Ottawa around 5, 6 degrees. Meanwhile, tomorrow's daytime highs, yes, parts of Kingston 14 degrees, who can be seen 18 in Brockville, 11 in Pembroke, as well as in Ottawa. Again, that rain really moving through quite heavily in the morning. We could see between 10 to 15 millimeters of rain. Some parts of the region, including especially in the valley, again, look at these yellows, be seeing more. So much of the system, the central part of the system, will be closer to the Maniwaki area, Mont-Tremblant area. Parts of Kingston and Brockville could still see that heavy rain moving in as well. Should clear, though, by Tuesday afternoon. Lots of cloudy skies, but by Wednesday morning, especially around the Kingston-Brockville area, that could see more heavy rainfall moving in. May not affect the parts of Valley as well as Ottawa, but we are keeping a close eye on this. Now, temperature-wise, again, we are trending between 14 to 17 degrees really throughout the week into Friday, where Saturday we could see a daytime high of 21 degrees.
Well, 2 new towers could one day dot the skyline in the Centertown neighborhood. A developer has submitted a plan to a city committee to build 2 residential high-rises at 267 O'Connor Street between Gilmore and McLaren Streets. One would be the 27-story tower, the other 25. There would be a total of 513 residential units, an underground parking garage, and commercial and retail space at street level. Councillors are set to vote on this proposal this week.
Not a fan of robotics taking people's jobs in general, or AI, or like any of that stuff, but also it feels somewhat inevitable.
How do you feel about robo-taxis? Well, there are reports a U.S. tech company wants to test its self-driving vehicle in Toronto. There are reports U.S. tech company Waymo is working to bring its self-driving taxis to Toronto streets. CTV's Raheem Ladani has that story.
In a city filled with traditional taxis and ride-sharing, Toronto roads could soon be driven by a new mode of transportation, self-driving vehicles.
I don't think I would feel very comfortable with that, just because if there's like a technical error or something.
I think they're cost efficient. They have it in San Francisco, and I tried it out, and it's pretty good.
Not a fan of robotics taking people's jobs in general, or AI, or like any of that stuff, but also it feels somewhat inevitable.
Waymo is a fully autonomous ride-hailing service with no human driver in the front seat. The California-based tech company already operates in 11 U.S. cities and is looking to expand in other major cities, including London, Tokyo, and possibly Toronto.
The big advantage that self-driving cars have over human drivers is that they can see in all directions
at all the time and never get tired or bored.
Mayor Olivia Chow's office says the company, which is owned by Google's parent company, Alphabet, told them it plans to apply for a provincial pilot program to conduct tests. In a statement, a spokesperson for Chow says the mayor's priority is protecting jobs in Toronto. Any move toward autonomous vehicles must not put people out of work or undermine workers' livelihoods. The mayor will not support Waymo if it costs jobs, drives down wages for other workers, or contributed to precarious work in our city. Waymo must demonstrate this will not happen.
There's a concern that if you have all these autonomous vehicles floating around where you're trying to make money on them and they don't actually have passengers in them, do they just circle? Because doesn't that just add to the traffic problems we already experience?
This wouldn't be the first time a self-driving vehicle pilot project would meet Toronto traffic. Last summer, Magna International was accepted into Ontario's automated vehicle pilot program. The city was against it, and the test drive ended just a few months later. In 2021, self-driving shuttle buses were launched, but canceled the same year after a collision and the supplier shut down.
Would you sue the manufacturer of the AI that is in the car? And that is an open question.
Waymo's website says its vehicles undergo rigorous safety checks. Under the provincial pilot, collisions must be reported within 10 days and have enough insurance to operate in Ontario. Waymo have not responded to requests from CTV News about bringing these vehicles to Toronto. Raheem Ladani, CTV News.
You just have to make sure that you have an interest in what you're doing, especially in STEM.
Still ahead, Ontario's brightest young minds show off some of their cutting-edge inventions. Engineering students in Oshawa are showing off their designs for solutions aimed at tackling real-world problems. CTV's John Musselman has that story.
These fourth-year engineering students at Ontario Tech University in Oshawa are ready to take on the world and anything orbiting above us in space. Take a look at this robotic arm designed to tackle space station maintenance.
So the ISS will be decommissioned in a couple of years with replacement of Gateway. Gateway is a space station that's going to orbit the moon, and that's expected to have periods where no person is on the space station. And so being able to address maintenance like autonomously or through ground control addresses maintenance tasks even when a human is not present on board that space station.
The annual Capstone Systems Design Exhibition is an opportunity for fourth-year engineering students to show off their designs and their solutions for real-world problems. This team is using quantum computing to make autonomous driving safer.
A lot of accidents occur because of this, right? Because the decision time is not accurate. So if there's a car in front, right, I don't want this to be like 7 nanoseconds. I want it to be 0.007 nanoseconds. If I'm able to go ahead, I can save lives by this.
It was long hours and plenty of stops and starts before these students came up with a complex app designed to reduce your carbon footprint inside your home.
If you have a gas or electric vehicle, you can directly connect and we get your emission data, and we do groceries. So no one wants to go and log every single thing we bought. So instead, you can just take a photo of your receipt and we will parse out what you bought as well as the budget. So we do budget tracking and carbon emission tracking.
You just have to make sure that you have an interest in what you're doing, especially in STEM, especially in tech, and you basically work as hard as possible over your university degree.
It's great for the students to be able to showcase their hard work. It's also an opportunity for employers, so we invite our co-op employers to come see what our students are capable of.
Part of the exhibition is to encourage students to work in teams and take part in project planning. The next phase is graduation, then taking what they've learned and applying it in the real world. John Musselman, CTV News in Oshawa.
Coming up, celebrating a special birthday for the world's oldest gorilla. There's a live look through our Centennial Glass Skycam. It's 12 degrees out there right now, but it's wet. Lots of rain, and that's going to continue. Jackie.
Well, kicking things off with 7 degrees, 7 a.m. in the morning, but bring your umbrella and your rain gear because it will be a wet one. We've got thunderstorm risk for our Tuesday, 11 degrees, the daytime high. Wednesday, 14. Still could see some rain moving in the early hours of Wednesday. Really Thursday, though, we could see an additional 15 to 20 millimeters of rainfall.
Well, finally for us tonight, the world's oldest known gorilla celebrated her 69th birthday at the Berlin Zoo today. No birthday cake for her, but Fatou was treated to a vegetable gift basket to mark the occasion. The western lowland gorilla first arrived at the Berlin Zoo in 1959, and according to Guinness World Records, a French sailor apparently took her out of Africa and traded her to cover a bar tab in France before she was then sold to the zoo. Now, normally, gorillas in captivity can live up to about 50 years old, so 69 is an incredible feat. For anyone wondering, the world's oldest ape, a chimpanzee, 83 years old. Good night.